It's Friday night, it's 8 p.m. Staring down the barrel of another long weekend. Heading to the Twitch bar tonight. Some semicolons and a bill open me right. Electron Greg is here again. An animation that tells you where and when. 100 messages go by. Congratulations on the words that you just typed. It's Friday night at the Twitch bar and everybody knows your username. It's Friday night at the Twitch bar and everybody's so glad that you came. And who's behind that wonky door? Is it MJ? Is it Wishy? Make the call. Yeah, and I think it's about that time. God's front porch is on the line. Friday night at the Twitch bar and everybody knows your username. It's Friday night at the Twitch bar and everybody's so glad that you came. And I won't drink across the street. There's people in the YouTube bar I never want to meet. I think I'm happiest right here. I made songs and I think I'll have another beer. It's Friday night at the Twitch bar and everybody knows your username. It's Friday night at the Twitch bar and everybody's so glad that you came.
Evening, everyone. Thank you very much, Simon, for sending that in. Simon sent that lovely little piano rendition in of Down Like That. Complete with shovel, Rochester ginger, a stickler for detail, and in the corner, ready for a game of book or bonds, a copy of Smoke and Mirrors. What a legend. I think we all enjoyed that. I hope you're all well. Hello, John, Millstone Barn. Simon, obviously. Jez Shed, beautiful rendition. I would say thank you. I don't need thank you. Simon should be thanking you, which I think he has. I think I saw him bathing in the accolades there. Dean Nakoda. B, pedal malfunction. Just took me a second. I think I just wanted to leave a blank screen for just a little bit, because it's just like you can't kick in too quickly after that. You just want it to just, for you to be able to absorb that before it kicks into me. Waves across the street. That was Friday night at the Twitch bar that was requested by no one. This is a song from Psychopath Stream and Black and White, requested by Dean Edis, aka Dean Nakoda, aka the Master of the Shader. I'm just having a cheeky punk IPA because it's quite hot at the moment up here for some reason. So I'm not wearing any socks. I'm drinking a cold beer to try and combat that. What's everyone been up to? Tell me during the song, because by the time I finish the song, it would have, all the lag would have caught up and I'll have seen what you're doing. If you don't know who you're talking to, then my advice to you would be a little more than you bargain for, if that's the way you're gonna be. Tread carefully, because my life to me is worth less than yours to you. Tread carefully, because I'm capable. Oh, I'm more capable than you. A little love goes up a long, long way. Are those the words you want to hear? 'Cause words like that won't get you very far. That's the way it's always been. Tread carefully, because my life to me is worth less than yours to you. Tread carefully, because I'm capable. Oh, I'm more capable than you. Tread carefully, because my life to me is worth less than yours to you. Tread carefully, because I'm capable. Oh, I'm more capable than you. Tread carefully for Dean Nakoda. So what's everyone up to? I'm waiting for a post-gig shader talk. I'd stay for it. I'd stay for that as well. One day Dean's going to do that. I have been to Woburn Safari Park and saw some monkeys, rhinos and giraffes. Was it good? Is Woburn one of the ones where you sit in your car and the monkeys tear chunks off your car as you slowly drive through, trying not to accelerate too hard when they're playing in the wheel arch? A trip like that is only success if you get a monkey or a lion on your car. It was a close thing, but no monkey. Hey all, hello Felice Maggie, hope you're well. We had a local otter sanctuary, but sadly they closed down. Very sad, and I never got the chance to purchase all their otters, which makes it sadder. It would have been nice, wouldn't it, purchasing all those delicious otters. There's a great seal sanctuary over at Skegness, by the way, on the front. So there you go, there's a reason now. There wasn't one before, there's now a reason to go to Skegness for the seal sanctuary. We had a rehearsal yesterday, the two of us. We rehearsed the drums for the new album. Scott and myself went to a rehearsal room and I filmed some of it. So if you're on the Patreon, I don't want to do that too much because I don't feel like I'm hard selling the Patreon thing, but I've started making these little videos which are kind of quite low budget videos, but I'm just using my iPhone and the iMovie Maker on my old MacBook. And I put one together, and the first one, I'm just kind of, as we're going through the album, I'm just going to do little making of videos. The first one was quite exciting. I think if anyone's on the Patreon and they're in the chat, they'll tell you about it. But I go through some of the documentation that gets created on the run-up to rehearsing and recording an album. Hello, David Watts. Pleasure as always. This is a song for Simon, and it's called All the Time. I'm going to try something that may or may not work. Let me get that locked in.
I don't always wanna be right, I just wanna be like you. Slow, methodical, thinking every single thing through. I guess that's why you're better than me, but when everything is done and said, how can I respect you when everyone we know and love is dead? But it's okay though, 'cause I've got all the time. If you need me when you cross that line, I'll see what I can do. I watched you go out of your way to show a little empathy in all the situations when all I really wanna do is breathe. I guess that's why you're better than me, but when everything's done and said, how can I respect you when everyone we know and love is dead? But it's okay though, 'cause I've got all the time. So if you need me when you cross that line, I'll see what I can do. Can't help feeling that it's all misplaced. I'm sharp redemption caused your fall from grace. But if you need me, then I'll see what I can do. Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
We used to do that quite a lot when we used to do acoustic gigs. For like, we did it on 1 or 2 songs, just as a way of kind of making any song, like a couple of songs where the mid-late was so reliant, I'll say reliant, it was like some of the songs are quite reliant on having like, the mid-late is the same chord structure as a verse, but in the recorded version you've got violins or other things and they're making it an interesting piece. So every now and again just use the harmonica to kind of like differentiate the mid-late from the rest of the song. So I thought I'd have a crack at using it again on that song that was requested by Simon. Nice, proper breakfast too. Think it's newish, but right next to the pier. We're still talking about the Otter place, the Seal place. Loving this version, AD. Thank you, J-Shed. Well, the harmonica was a success. Thank you for all the semicolons there. This is for Mike, who asked for a new song, newish, called Charlie Sheen. Goes a little something like this. Thank you, Martin.
Comments like water dry up in the sun. Code that means nothing until somebody hits run. A small coffee table commits to the weight of a dozen books or more that carry your name. Declare yourself a failure in every success you've had, because if Charlie Sheen was winning, and maybe life's not that bad, because this time there's been worse times. The radiator's empty, there's no heat again, and the amp's still broken, so don't you pretend. Let the clone of a video game that you always play is the thing that you needed to help you escape. Declare yourself a failure in every success you've had, because if Charlie Sheen was winning, then maybe life's not that bad, because this time there's been worse times. And I don't know where you go, and I don't know what you know when you declare yourself a failure in every success you had, because if Charlie Sheen was winning, then maybe life's not that bad. And it's a long conversation to remind yourself of the fact that this time there's been worse times. Yeah, this time there's been worse times.
I'm liking this more with, that's a good sign, if you like it more with every rendition. You don't want a song that you like straight away, do you? You want it where you're not quite sure, and then you like it a little bit more each time. And those are the good ones, just like that. I'll give you some examples. Top Loader, Dancing in the Moonlight, first time I ever heard it, thought it was amazing. Got used in a Sainsbury's advert, and it's like, liked it straight away, got played to death. And I don't dislike it, it just sounds like static now. You kind of don't take it in anymore. It's an example of a song like that. Another song that goes, there's one song recently I heard, it's a band called The Bleachers. And they've got an album that came out this month. One of the tracks is, the whole album's super catchy, but one of the tracks is really catchy at the moment. I'm wondering if I'm still going to like it in a couple of months. It's called something like, it's called Stop Making This Hurt, and it is incredibly catchy. Like, as soon as you listen to it the first time, there's no kind of getting into it. It's like, as soon as you hear it, it's just like, bosh. Very catchy, very good. For now, as long as I don't use it in a Sainsbury's advert. I feel like it's getting into shape, growing into its potential. I usually end up bored of the tracks I buy. Bored of the tracks I buy an album for, and end up preferring the rest. Yeah, I get that as well. Did I hear another album that's like that? New Radicals, Maybe You've Been Brainwashed Too. It's rare I actually listen to the single one. Well, I listen to it every time, but I'd always rather listen to the album in its entirety rather than just listen to maybe, what's it called, Get What You Give. Drops of Jupiter was like that for me, but then I heard it a lot. I wonder if I could dig it now. Train, that was, wasn't it? Thank you, Simon. I've created a Spotify playlist that I posted on social media called Folk Tinged Indie Rock, that I just put a bunch of stuff in there that I'm listening, or not that I'm listening to, but I listen to periodically. So really, yeah, a bit of Shins on there. I think there's some War on Drugs. This is a track called, this is also for Mike, that was for Mike, this is for Mike. I haven't seen it in the chat yet. This is called California. This was sounding quite good last night when I was rehearsing it with Scott. He's come up with quite a nice drum beat for it. I did put some of my, just in case the playlist takes off, I popped one or two British IBM songs in there, because you never know, if a playlist goes viral and I'm not on it, that's bigger. You're better off being on a successful playlist than you are being on Radio 1.
Drinks like a sailor, smokes 2 packs a day. Never seems to care what anyone else has to say. And the weather brings me down, and the darkness brings me down. I wanna live in California, where the cup-side smoking makes it easier to breathe. I wanna live in California, but I'm still hanging around in the same old town. Oh, I'm still hanging around in the same old crowd. You get the feeling it's gonna be that kind of day, the kind where nothing ever seems to really go your way. And the weather brings me down, and the darkness brings me down. I wanna live in California, where the cup-side smoking makes it easier to breathe. I wanna live in California, but I'm still hanging around in the same old town. Well, I'm still hanging around with the same old crowd. I wanna live in California, where the cup-side smoking makes it easier to breathe. I wanna live in California, but I'm still hanging around
Thank you, Felice Maggie. Felice Maggie, for me, this was a late addition in in my faves. Really stuck there now. Thank you. Thank you for the semicolons there. Semicolons. Spotify playlists are the 21st century version of C90s with handwritten track listings. It's quite nice how you can actually put artwork on them now as well. You can upload a little bit of artwork to go with your playlist and the description. We spent we spent some time last night working out the end of that, because basically Scott kind of played that almost straight away. The beat that he was playing was really good, but then we were just sitting there for how long that end bit should be, because obviously when you go into the studio you can't just ad lib we'll go. So it was how long the last two chords should be, the bit that goes. Was an interesting conversation. This is a track for... Oh, that was requested California. That was requested by John and Mike. This is Darkness Follows, which is always a weird one to play acoustically, because there's not a lot to it. I think I've mentioned this before, and it's kind of the distortion and the riff and all the multi-layered vocals. Roger Fact just cracked open the Root Ginger as seen on the piano video. If you want to tweet a picture of that at some point, let us know so we can all get in on it and see a picture of that. Thank you, Dean. Dean just chucked a few coins into the virtual hat there. Right. This is Darkness Follows on an acoustic guitar.
How can you believe in something that doesn't bleed? I'll breathe. If you want to believe in something, then why don't you believe in me? I've got the world here for you. It doesn't sit quite right, but if you give it all you've got, I think it's worth the fight. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'll be the only friend you ever really needed. I'll give you everything, and I'll leave you undefeated. And all I need from you is just the smallest favor, something I can call it if I need it later. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That was Darkness Follows. For Martin. Rabbit, hello Duncan. Didn't see you sneak in there. This should easily mean that we're going to be smashing our 100 messages sooner rather than later. Kim took Stephen Nugget Taylor to the vet for a general health check and now knows whether they're a boy or a girl. I've instructed her not to tell me, as that would spoil the mystery / fun. What are you going to do to the rabbit? Thank you, Millstone Bum. And for the semicolons there. Very nice, thanks. You're very welcome, Martin. You'll be pleased to know as well, if you're on the Patreon, that I've just put together a new video. I don't know what the frequency of these things is meant to be, because I only just put the other one out, where I go through the extensive, just to give you a little, so that you don't feel too left out if you're not on there. This is the document that I created for Play the Game. So when Play the Game was still an idea, basically as I started writing, recording songs, you eventually start to format all that into a document. And the idea being that when you go into the studio, you're not spending loads of time going, what key is this? What's the BPM? You're not spending half an hour and then working out, oh, what are the chords? I've forgotten the chords now. Or, oh, I play this with a capo and Dave is playing bass and he doesn't know what the chords are, so we've got to just figure them out for the bass or the overdubs or whatever. So I just basically write as much as I can, lyrics and chords and ideas and all the rest of it, put them into a document, and then that document, it goes into the studio with you. And I just finished creating, well, not finished, it's in state of flux still, but more or less there, the new document for the new album. This isn't one, this is the one for Play the Game. So that was fun, taking that into the studio, a big Word document. But yeah, I finished making another video of the rehearsal that we did. I chopped that together. So you'll get that soon. I don't know if I should be leaving a week before videos for the anticipation to build. There's probably some rule of thumb somewhere. Love That Darkness Follows. Do you think you could sequence it to... Do you think you could sequence it into Sunrise? I think I could sequence it into Sunrise Technology. Or could I? No, I couldn't, because I'd have to remove the capo. Millstone Barn requested a plectrum song. If you weren't here last week, I spoke about how I generally don't use a plectrum, or it's rare that I use a plectrum. And the reason is because I think it's nicer to use your fingers, and I think it makes a nicer sound. Millstone Barn said, could you do a song with a plectrum? So this is a song with a plectrum. I'd normally play this with my fingers. Tonight I'm using a plectrum.
I only love you because time dictates I should. I only miss you when I'm down. I found 1,000 ways to tell you that I cared, but not a single one was true. Whose photographs will you hang on your wall? Who'll be there for you in the end? I wanted you to come and join me in the real world, but this real world is just pretend. What will we do when we get too old and forget every word we ever meant? I'm growing old, I'm growing tired of new beginnings. I just want something with an end. Whose photographs will you hang on your wall? Who'll be there for you in the end? I wanted you to come and join me in the real world, but this real world is just pretend. And when the credits roll, you know you've got no soul. So in the ground we'll dwell, because there's nothing else. Whose photographs will you hang on your wall? Who'll be there for you in the end? I wanted you to come and join me in the real world, but this real world is just pretend.
And that was another discussion last night, how that song ends. We came up with it ending like that, because I think I end it lots of different ways. Sometimes I'll go end it on that, and then I'll go around that one more time, but I feel like it should just go. You're very welcome. Congratulations, you've received 100 messages today with Restream Chat. And do you know what the 100th message was? It was Rishi. Good evening. Rishi thought he could sneak in. I hope you're well, Rishi. Got caught up painting miniature Warhammer figurines with the child. Do kids like Warhammer figurines, or do you just like Warhammer figurines? And when you say caught up, were they trying to get away and saying, Dad, I don't like Warhammer? Of course you like Warhammer. I'm just going to celebrate the 100th message. A little splash of rum. And a 100th message celebratory. Rogie. The last of the Rochester Ginger. The next bottle I've got is the dark one. Delicious. Wandered past the shop today. Wandered past the shop in town today. Probably not age appropriate, but she's into the painting side of it. I've wandered into that shop once or twice. The Warhammer shop. I'm hoping you're talking about that shop. Get whatever its games were. The one on Regent Street. You talking about the one on Regent Street? I'm like Rain Man. I've been counting the messages that they go. Well done. 2 Greg songs now, which is appropriate. It's not appropriate because it's not Greg that got 100th message. It was Jez Shed. No, it's not. It goes dissatisfaction.
Dissatisfaction is a symptom of ambition. I'll put the knife in, and you'll just keep on wishing for the words I'll never say. As all this fades away, I'm still in love with you. And so it's over, another life worth living. You know there's no God, so why your indecision? Just enjoy yourself. It's easy to forget the ones you've left behind. 'Cause if you try to just get by, yeah, if you try to just get by, you'd only waste your life. I always wondered, how can you do it? Live a life of God and love when you're just sleeping through it. It's all that I can do, stand here next to you and watch the world go by. And so we started to live a life that's nothing. Without the minor key, we turn the days to minutes. Everything slowed down, washed out feelings, drowning mediocrity. 'Cause if you try to just get by, yeah, if you try to just get by, you'd only waste your life. to just get by. Yeah, if you try to just get by, you'd only waste your life.
Just Get By for Greg. Thank you, Jay Shed. Right. Next up is another one. This is one's from Play the Game. Song of the night, I reckon. Thank you, Martin. The night's not over yet, though.
200 people walking down, and it won't stop. Now 200 people in the crowd, and it won't stop. Now they tied your hand behind your back, your mind is filling in the blanks. Yeah, and it won't stop. Now you could have been somebody else if you tried. You went too far and now you're broken inside. Oh, I tried. $200 people walking down, and it won't stop. Now 200 people in the crowd, and it won't stop. Now they put a bag over your head, tied a rope around your neck. Yeah, and it won't stop. Now you could have been somebody else if you tried. You went too far and now you're broken inside. Oh, I tried. When I wake up every morning, it's just another day in turn. When the music starts to glisten, I've never been here before. I've never been here before. You could have been somebody else if you tried. You went too far and now you're broken inside. You could have been somebody else if you tried. Oh, I tried.
Greg should never be absent. It does feel like something's missing, doesn't it? I was thinking about Greg today, as I often do. Because when I put together the little video, I was doing the video editing, I used 2 of Greg's animations in it. This is for Felice Maggie. Thank you, Jeshed and Millstone Barn. Let's see what we've got here. Some stuff's come in. Here we go. This, I think you're all going to enjoy this. I've not seen it yet. That's just in from Simon. If you, I'm going to like that and retweet it. There we go. If you've got a picture that you'd like to tweet at the British IBM and have it shown here this evening, then feel free to do so. This next song is, yes, for Felice Maggie. It's called Jet Set Willie. It's all about someone, in case you're not aware. I'm sure most of you are all very aware of what this song's about. But the premise of it is it's about someone who always used to play Jet Set Willie when they were younger, and then never quite completed it, had friends that completed it, or so they said, and then years later he found out about the attic bug. And then he realises everyone that told him they completed it back in the day were lying. So he goes and gets it out the attic, dusts it off, starts playing it over Christmas, and just gets, all of a sudden he's in the zone, and he's like so close to actually doing it after he's fixed the attic bug. So close that he doesn't want to leave it, so he has to ask other people to go and get him a beer periodically.
It's been nearly 32 years since I first saw your title screen, and even though I never got that far, I lay awake most every night and think about the rooms ahead, where everything just seemed to get so hard. I never got this close before, I never got this near to completing Jet Set Willie, so go get me another beer. I blew the dust from my cassette, I even fixed the attic bug that screwed me over all those years ago. I played it on my BBC, I never liked those rubber keys, but everyone's a critic, I suppose. I never got this close before, I never got this near to completing Jet Set Willie, so go get me another beer. I'm not using emulation, I'm using the real thing. No hazing, no falling for God. I'm not using a walkthrough, it's all intuition. No YouTube, no forums, no scanning through blogs. Yeah, and I never got this close before, I never got this near to completing Jet Set Willie, so go get me another beer.
I said it before and I'll say it again. This is me, just in case you're watching this. The thing is, this I use Restream for this, which I've also mentioned lots of times before. So that way it goes onto YouTube and it goes onto Twitch. But Twitch is where the chat is. So it's like, but YouTube is where it archives it. So if you want to go back and watch any old gigs, you can go on YouTube and they're all there. And you can rewatch them. But then when people go back and they watch this on YouTube, they won't see the chat. They'll just see me chatting away to myself and saying stuff that's in the chat or rereading. And people go, there's no one in the chat, because I can see the YouTube chat and there's quite clearly no one in it. So you can do this thing, and I think it's really annoying. And I'd like to think you'd agree with me, and I've seen some people do it, where you click an option in Restream and the chat appears on the screen, embedded. But I always think it looks really irritating when you want to watch something full screen and you're just seeing the chat going across and whatnot. So yeah, if you're watching on YouTube 2 years down the line and the British IBM has fallen by the wayside and you're wondering what I'm prattling on about, that's what I'm doing. I'm reading the chat from Twitch, and the chat says, Duncan Corp says, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think this song is also a metaphor for accomplishing life goals and aspirations generally. I agree. And if you're watching and you're working out the sync rights for the next Olympics or one of those other sporting things that happens, and you want to give me a lot of money for it, this could be the song of one of those football things. The World Cup. That's a football thing, isn't it? This is for Duncan.
Damn you and your sunrise technology. Waited a lifetime just for you. The application of the things you've brought to life are weighing heavy on my mind. How do I express myself without you? When we've forgotten how to talk. And so we walk into the future, a brave new world where we belong. But if you stopped in for a moment, well, I'd quite happily get off. How do I express myself without you? When we've forgotten how to talk. How do I express myself without you? When we've forgotten how to talk. And if you stopped it for a moment, well, I'd quite happily get off.
Sunrise Technology for Duncan. That song's about being in a social situation when people are just sitting there on their phones. Duncan Corp said the Foo Fighters are able to perfectly replicate classic console. I think I've missed something somewhere. Just drop over Twitter. I've got tickets to see Sophie Ellis-Bextor from March 2020. Postponed to 2022. I think I've got a ticket like that. I've got one for the Felice Brothers. Sophie, didn't she do something like I was watching something about her on YouTube the other day, where she did like a disco from the kitchen or something. She just live streamed through the entire. Is that right? Am I right in saying that? Have you been watching Sophie Ellis-Bextor's? Is it disco from the kitchen? Is that what she's been doing? CMA Fest tickets carried over from 2020 to 2022. For me, and good job too, means we'll be in Biden's USA rather than Trump's. It's all getting political. Oh, anyway, Crash Test Dummies. Are they still going? Is he just doing his solo thing? We have tickets for Crash Test Dummies originally for 2020, but they've been postponed to everyone. So this is like a reoccurring thing. Everyone's gone from 2020 to 2022. Looking forward to seeing those guys again. I had tickets for the Fleece Brothers a few years ago, and it was cancelled. I think one of them was ill. Also got to Gary Newman. They are still going, Crash Test Dummies. Very much so. I only have one Crash Test Dummies album, and it's the one that you'd expect everyone to have. The one with the big song on it. Again, not the one that I listen to the most. The best one on there, I think, is the Superman song, I think, and the God Shuffled His Feet I liked as well. So where are Crash Test Dummies playing? What sort of audience sizes do they play now? This is Sugar Water. The music video is really good as well for their Superman one. It's like where they've got the coffin going down, haven't they? Superman's dead, and like all the superheroes are in a church, and Superman's coffin's coming down the middle.
I'm sorry for all those little things I said. I pushed you so hard, too hard. I watched you from in my head. And I want you to know, without you it won't be said. You can't spend it all from the graveyard floor when you're dead. Do you wanna sell sugar water, or do you wanna change the world? Do you wanna sell sugar water, or do you wanna change the world? I missed you, and all those little things I did. I pushed you so hard, too hard. I watched you from in my head. Yes, your loyalty strayed, my integrity stayed, and I wept. And it's insanely great how but you are replaced, my friend. Do you wanna sell sugar water, or do you wanna change the world? Do you wanna sell sugar water, or do you wanna change the world? Do you wanna sell sugar water, or do you wanna change the world? Do you wanna sell sugar water, or do you wanna change the world?
Sugar water. With a touch, sugar water comes in a 3-inch bottle with a touchscreen bottle top. So good. Well done on the chord changes. Thank you. I try my best. It's the same first two chords from that are the same first two chords on Sixpence None the Richer's Kiss Me, in case you're interested. The first two chords of that goes from like, no, it doesn't do that. It goes there. See that? Something like that. And I remember hearing that chord change. I was thinking, that's a nice little chord change. But I think they play it somewhere else. I think they actually play the bar chord of that. So it's somewhere like. I can't remember what the other bit is now. But anyway, I learned that song once because I quite like the chord progression. Took the first two chords. Reminds me of a scene in Times. That is a brilliant. I saw that as well with old mate, but I forget his name now. But it was in This Is England, which is also, if you've never seen it. Reminds me of the scene in Time starring Sean Bean and Stephen Graham when an inmate gets attacked with a kettle full of hot water and sugar. That's what sugar water reminds you of. That's quite dark. So this is the last song of the evening. Thank you everyone for coming out, or staying in I should say. Who said that last time? Whose catchphrase was that I decided to steal? Thanks for staying in. This is the last song.
Standing in an alleyway between two bars, blood on my face. You're looking at me and I'm looking at you. Remember when we were both still friends? None of this would have happened then. And everything I learned from you. If we'd have kept it all together, maybe we'd still be friends. And we'd have finished what we started. We'd be that British IBM. Saw it all on a TV screen, under a ton any flicker green. But I could never be the one to talk you down. I know you then as I know you now. I watched it all come crashing down. Melt your little time as time goes by. If we'd have kept it all together, maybe we'd still be friends. We'd have finished what we started. We'd be that British IBM. We're both in the history books, a little world that we both once shook. Watch a little time as time goes by. I know you then as I know you now. I wished it all come crashing down. I never understood what's a heaven for. If we'd have kept it all together, maybe we'd still be friends. We'd have finished what we started. We'd be that British IBM. If we'd have kept it all together, maybe we'd still be friends. If we'd have finished what we started, we'd be that British IBM.
Thank you, Duncan. It's very kind of you to say so. I know this line. We streamed that entire show to the city of, I don't know what that, Gdansk, inadvertently. You streamed a show to the city of Gdansk back in 2019. That was a crazy year. Sophie made a cameo in the film. Brit, she did. Are we talking about Sophie Wilson there? John Scully would have joined Apple. Never would have joined Apple if Jobs hadn't threatened to take on these boiling sugar water. I can see where you've gone there. Right. I am going to go and get a piece of paper and a pen. I'm going to put my guitar down and we'll do some requests. I'll be back in 2 secs. Okay. We all went retro. Thank you again, AD. You're very welcome. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you all for staying in. If anyone has any requests for the next gig, I'm not sure exactly when the next one's going to be. I think, let me just check my... Oh, here we go. Dean sent me a picture. I'm not sure if that's a picture that you want me to send, to hold up to the thing. There's Dean the coder. The dog song. The dog song? What is the dog song? Cover request, Pretender, Duncan Corpse. Cover request, Pretender by the Foo Fighters, Murder on the Dance Floor, Sophie Ellis Bextor. I'll write those down if I can work out an acoustic rendition of either. The Pretender, Foos, or what's the other one? Murder on the Dance Floor. Murder, Dance, Duncan. I wouldn't hold my breath, but you never know. The dog song. I don't know what the dog song is. Bob Noyce. For Martin. Kit for Jez Shed. Kit for Jez. We rehearsed that last night as well. You'll be pleased to know. Silver cigarette case for Jez. Cigarette for Jez. Animal for Felice. Animal Felice. Oh, Kit. Yeah, I just realised that. Kit for Jez and for Dean. My mind just skipped a beat. Kit is a dog. Kit is a dog. 22 for Millstone Barn. 22 for Millstone. God's Front Porch for Simon. GFP for Simon. Kit for DTC. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Any more for any more? I'll just wait for a few seconds there. If not, nothing ever lasts for Jez Shed. Nothing lasts. If anyone has any playlists on Spotify that have flukishly managed to get thousands of subscribers, feel free to drop a British IBM song in there, by the way. Nothing lasts for Jez Shed. And I think Sugarwater will take on a more tread carefully vibe. I can see where you're going there. Do you know what I was thinking of doing tonight as a weird thing? It's not really a weird thing. Has anyone ever done a raid on Twitch? I thought I might try it out because I know someone else that's twitching at the moment, playing something that some of you know from Twitter and various things, and they're streaming retro stuff. So if you want, we'll do the normal thing, and then when that comes to an end, we'll do a raid if anyone's up for that. Mixcloud Felice, there is one of the British IBM songs. Thank you, Felice Maggie. I did actually have a listen to that the other day after you put it in the chat last time. Appreciate that. Use the raid. Okay, so we'll listen to one more song, which is, you can choose one of these. MJ Hibbett's It Only Works, Hey Hey 16K, UK Mike, Smoke and Mirrors, one of Simon's 2 songs now, Classic Rishi or New Rishi. First one in the chat gets it. Classic Rishi. We'll have Classic Rishi and then we're going to do a classic raid. Who's up for that? I'll see you in a sec. And I'll let you know when the next gig is.
Hi there, my name's Rishi, I'm a friend of Adrian's, and like you all, I've been entertained by the British IBM sets that have happened over the past few months during the lockdown period. Adrian's kindly invited me along to come and sing a song of mine. This is from my Genomics the Musical, which is a singing science project, the opening song, which is about how a guy called Gustav Mendel came up with the ideas of genes, that there are 2 copies inside of us from growing lots of pea plants. On the family farm, then moved to a monastery with an experimental garden. 6 years wrapping bags around the flowers of plants, giving us the music for the genetic dance. You must be Mendel. You must be Mendel. Whoa, yeah. Traits of plants that gave us peas, then controlled how they got to breed. You then measured traits of plants that grew from those seeds, eventually proposing that living things had genes. You must be Mendel, 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 yeah, oh yay, Mendel, Mendel, oh yeah. Mendel, 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 yeah, oh yeah, Mendel, 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 oh yeah. It's a shame they didn't believe straight away in the theory you got from your plants. It was only after you died that they gave the peas a chance. Growing 29,000 plants was not the only trick. You then had to perform some Mendel arithmetic, probabilities of dominant and recessive traits, giving us genetics and showing us the way. You must be Mendel, 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 yeah, oh yeah, Mendel, Mendel, oh yeah. You must be Mendel, 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 yeah, oh yeah, Mendel, 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 oh yeah, whoa, yeah. Cheers very much all. Thanks AD. Hopefully I'm in the chat chatting with you. Otherwise, hopefully chat with you next week. Take care. Bye. You grew up on the family farm and moved to a monastery with an experimental garden. 6 years wrapping bags around the flowers of plants, giving us the music for the genetic dance. You must be Mendel. You must be Mendel. Whoa, yeah. You measured traits of plants that gave us peas, then controlled how they got to breed. You then measured traits of plants that grew from those seeds, eventually proposing that living things had genes. You must be Mendel, 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 yeah, oh yeah, Mendel, Mendel, oh yeah. You must be Mendel, 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 yeah, oh yeah, Mendel, 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 oh yeah. It's a shame they didn't believe straight away in the theory you got from your plums. It was only after you died that they gave the bees a chance. Growing 29,000 plants was not the only trick. You then had to perform some Mendel arithmetic, probabilities of dominant and recessive traits, giving us genetics and showing us the way. You must be Mendel, 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 yeah, oh yeah, Mendel, Mendel, oh yeah. You must be Mendel, 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 yeah, oh yeah, Mendel, 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 oh yeah. Whoa, yeah.
Thank you, Dead Shed. That's really kind of you. Right, I've turned the lights up. We'll go normal. It's a bit messy. We'll go normal. Hey, Johnny, nice to see you, mate. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. I've been watching your dealings going on